boys and girls, I'm Miss Sparkle and this is Rosie Posey Girl. I hope you're having a great day today. Did you know that on November 11th is Veterans Day? So today we're going to be talking about Veterans Day. Rose, do you want to read a story with us? Look at her and all of her patriotic stuff. Isn't she so cute with her red, white, and blue on? You love America, don't you, Rose? The story I'm going to share is called Veterans Day by Julie Murray. Veterans Day. What is Veterans Day? Veterans Day happens every year on November 11th. It is a national U.S. holiday. Several other countries have comparable holidays. Veterans are people who have served in the military. Veterans Day honor their service with parades and ceremonies. There is a parade right there. Beginnings. On November 11th, 1918, an armistice ended World War I. 1 year later, President Woodrow Wilson wanted to honor U.S. veterans of the war. So he set aside November 11th as Armistice Day. This honored the end of fighting. Armistice Day became an official U.S. holiday in 1938. World War II and the Korean War followed. Afterward, Americans wanted to honor veterans of all wars. So in 1954, Armistice Day was renamed to Veterans Day. Today, several other countries have holidays to honor veterans on or near November 11th. In France, people observe Armistice Day. In the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, the holiday is called Remembrance Day. Time for peace. In 1918, armistice took effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day on the 11th month. So many people, the number 11 is an important part of Veterans Day. Many Veterans Day ceremonies begin at 11 a.m. At most Veterans Day ceremonies, an honor guard brings in flags. This is called presenting the colors. Have you ever seen that? It's really neat. They bring the flags in, they post the colors. Red poppies. During World War I, many soldiers fought in Europe. Their plants called corn poppies often grew on battlefields. In 1915, a poem by a Canadian soldier, John McCrae, was printed. This famous poem is called In Flanders Field. It is about the battlefield and poppies. Today, red poppies are a symbol of World War I and the soldiers who died. They are a common part of Remembrance Day events around the world. Red, white, and blue. A flag is a symbol of a country. People fly flags near government buildings and homes. During wartime, flags become a very important symbol. When Americans think of Veterans Day, they often think of the U.S. flag. So on holiday, people carry flags in parades and ceremonies. Each star on the U.S. flag stands for one of the 50 states. Each stripe represents one of the original 13 colonies. So we have 50 stars and 13 stripes. Never forget, on Veterans Day, some people visit cemeteries for veterans. By doing so, they honor people who served the United States. The Arlington National Cemetery is near Washington, D.C. It holds a Veterans Day ceremony each year at 11 a.m. The U.S. President often attends. During the ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery, People honor a special tomb. The Tomb of the Unknowns was established on November 11th, 1921. In 1921, the body of a World War I soldier was buried there. No one knew who he was, but they wanted to honor him and others like him. Today, this grave is a symbol. It honors all Americans lost in the war. Soldiers guard the Tomb of the Unknowns. 3 unknown soldiers are buried there. Veterans Day today. Today, Veterans Day honors all American veterans. On this day, people attend events. They fly the American flag. Some visit cemeteries for veterans. They remember the brave people who fought for their country. Some countries honor soldiers who died in World War I in a special way. On November 11th, people are silent for 2 minutes at 11 a.m. In 2010, there were about 23 million living U.S. veterans. Long ago, only men were soldiers. In 1948, a law was passed that allowed women to become regular members of the military. Before they could fight, the women worked as nurses and service pilots. Today, they are honored for their service. The end. Veterans Day. So remember, Veterans Day is November 11th, and it's a great day to remember. Today, our activity is going to be something that you could send to a veteran, or at the end, I'm going to give you an address where you could send your letter to someone that you may not know that may not get mail. Because sometimes veterans might be in hospitals and they may not get any mail anymore, and you could brighten their day. On this one, there's 3 options. We have one that's filled out. We have one that just has the poppy. Remember the poppy, we talked about the poppy. And then if you don't have a printer, you could just use a blank piece of paper. You could draw whatever you want. So on this paper, it says, "Hi, my name is," and I wrote in Miss Sparkle. And you're gonna write, it says, "I am blank years old." So however old you are, you're gonna write in the blank. And I live in Arkansas. So I wrote Arkansas. And it says, "Thank you for serving our country. It is brave men and women like you that keep us free. I hope you have a great week. Sincerely," and then you're going to write your name, and I wrote Miss Sparkle. But of course, you're not going to write Miss Sparkle because you're not Miss Sparkle. So you can write out that. Now, if you choose to do your own letter, you could write anything that you choose that might be encouraging to a veteran that could be at a hospital. Wouldn't that be a joy to receive something? Now, on my paper, I only wrote my first name. You need to make sure that you ask your parents before you send anything with your name on it. Always, always ask your parents first. So on the craft today, I'm going to color my poppy. And we talked about the red poppy is what we're known for. What the poem was about, the red poppy. So I'm going to color my poppy red. Have you ever seen a poppy field? They're beautiful. They're just gorgeous. Now, the only poppy fields that I've ever seen didn't just have red poppies. They had other colors too. It was just gorgeous. So I made my poppy red, and then the center I'm going to make yellow. Then I'm going to color my stem this kind of green. Now remember, this is your activity, so you can make it how you want to make it. top yellow. Now, if you didn't have stamps at home or didn't want to send this, you could make a beautiful poppy for Veterans Day, a big poppy on your page, and maybe display it in your window. That might be a great way to honor veterans. Okay, and after your poppy's colored, down here you can do whatever you want. Maybe you want to make a soldier. Maybe you want to draw a soldier, or maybe you just love to draw rainbows. You could draw a rainbow. Maybe you love to draw the flag, stars and stripes, or maybe a fighter pilot. A fighter jet. That would be amazing. And maybe it could be on the ground with the fighter pilot beside it. That would be amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose to make kind of like the flag. It's not going to be exactly, because I can't make exactly 50 stars and 13 stripes. So I'm going to make a rectangle down here that's going to become my flag. It's kind of like a rectangle. I made it like it's kind of waving in the wind. And then the part with the stars comes up here. And I'm going to make some stars. Now remember, this is your activity, so you can draw whatever you want. I wish I could draw a plane. I wish I was good at that, but I'm not. That's okay. Everybody's good at different things. Oh, my star got wonky. That's okay. I'm going to fill in my blue. I wonder what you're coloring right now. I hope it's beautiful. I hope it brightens someone's day. You know what? If you don't want to send this, or maybe you don't have a stamp at home to send it, maybe the next time you go shopping with your mom or dad, you could take this to the grocery store, and if you see someone with a hat on that says veteran, you could give them this. Man, wouldn't that be amazing? And you could tell them, thank you for your service. I have something for you. That would surely brighten their day. Okay, now right up here, I'm going to make some stripes. Red and white stripes. I can't even imagine how much that would brighten someone's day to just hand them something that you did yourself. Wow, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? So sometimes on Veterans Day, some restaurants, veterans get to eat there for free. And my husband, who is also a veteran, we like to go to a restaurant and we like to find a veteran that's sitting by themselves and ask if we can join them. I promise, if you can do that, you will make their day. because they'll tell you all kinds of stories. Last year, we ended up sitting with somebody for probably about 2 hours. And he was just so lovely. He loved getting to sit with somebody because otherwise he would have been sitting by himself. Okay, there's my craft. And I love to draw hearts. So I'm going to draw hearts. Now remember, this is your activity, so you get to draw whatever you want. I like to draw stars. So I'm going to make some yellow stars. Just to make my paper even more colorful. Man, I wish I could see yours, what you're drawing. I bet it's beautiful. Okay. And I like to draw smiley faces. I'm going to draw some smiley faces. And then that's what I did. So I could maybe take this to somebody at a store and give it to them. I could fold it up and give it to them. Or there's a place that you could send it to. And I have an envelope addressed. And you can send it to Veterans Day Letter Drive, care of Andrew Penca, BreBeuf, Jesuit Preparatory School, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46268. So you could do this, and in the comments at the bottom, or not comments, but at the bottom of this, we're going to have that for you, so you can fill this out if you want to send this to him. And he's going to get this to veterans that might need a special something. Maybe they don't ever get mail or see anybody. And don't forget, on your envelope, you always have to have a stamp. The other thing is the address, right here, I just wrote squigglies because I'm not going to write a return address because I'm not expecting this person to write me back. But if you did want to write your address on there, of course, with your parents' permission, that person might write you back. But they may not be able to. They might be at a hospital where they can't write anymore. So this right here, this activity, and then I would fold it up. And I could either hand it to somebody, just hand it to them and tell them, thank you for your service, if I was handing it to a veteran, or if I want to send it to Andrew to give out to someone, I would put it in my envelope, and he would get this and make sure it went to somebody that really needed something special for their day that day. Boys and girls, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a super, super awesome day. Till next time, peace, love, sparkles.